Ron?
Okay. Good evening. I will call the planning board meeting of September 20th, 2023 to order at 6:30. Roll call, please.
You bet. So Tom Alberti is excused. Karen Robinson.
Here.
Lori Millette.
Here.
Chuck Fowler.
Here.
Richard Anthony.
Here.
Bill Coy.
Here.
Tim Moore.
Here.
Victoria Healy.
Here.
We're good.
Okay. All right, now approval for the minutes. Is there any discussion?
There's a couple little weird things.
Okay.
You didn't notice anything else. In the roll call, there's an A, at present A for Tim Moore. And on page 3, goals became goas. If anybody saw anything else,
Oh, I didn't see that.
All right, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from, what date did we do this on? September 6th?
September 6th?
September 6th, 2023,
One of us need to be
with the
appointed.
changes that were mentioned.
Oh, I haven't, yeah, okay. I'll call on Richard as a voting member in absence of Tom Alberti. Okay, the motion for the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, second that. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I abstain. One abstention. Okay. All right, we're set for the first one. Now, you said this first hearing was going to be on Zoom,
Correct.
so you want me to just read it and then will you have them there?
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Then people at home know what we're
Yeah,
dealing with.
exactly. Okay. Okay, public hearing, PB 23-08, the completeness of an application from Teleca Imaging LLC for a site plan amendment that proposes the addition of a medical office use to the existing retail use. Property is located at 58 Plaistow Road, tax map 26, lot 1, in the C1 zoning district. The property owner of record is Arit Plaistow Pentucket LLC. If the application is found to be complete, the planning board may immediately conduct a public hearing. No, you have to wait for that. Well, I was going to ask, is anybody here, and do they have anything to say?
I have remotely connected Daniel Guthrie and Brad Isaacson. And I think Brad is going to be speaking.
Okay?
But we gotta
Yes.
accept the,
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
We can, yeah.
Awesome. I want to first and foremost thank the committee and the panel for giving us an opportunity to speak with you this evening. I am the president and chief operating officer of Teleca Imaging, an Intermountain health company. To provide a very high-level overview, our healthcare system is in a crisis. There is very expensive imaging in hospitals, which creates significant barriers to entry for patients. And for many years, Intermountain has been hearing, should our patients go buy groceries or should they get medical scans, and how do we address the healthcare disparities? We have started a company. It is a nonprofit in the state of Utah and successfully opened 6 locations in retail space where we offer very affordable CTs and MRIs with fellowship-trained radiologists that are the right individuals to read scans. And in the near future, we're moving into Idaho and then also into New Hampshire. We request permission from your team to be able to operate at 58 Plaistow Road. To provide a little bit of a background of our business, we generate significantly less traffic than most organizations. We run 2 CTs and 2 MRIs per hour, and we maintain a very lean staff of about 4 to 5 individuals. When we go to Plaistow, with your permission, our intent is to offer a significantly lower price CT and MRI for your community to provide a great service for quality and affordability. And I'm happy to speak to any of the dynamics of the business What we typically do is we rent retail space, we build them out as beautiful mini hospitals on the inside, and we're here for nonprofit care for the community.
Should we accept this first, the application, and then you open up the public hearing?
No, we have to, it has to be accepted first.
Right, the application, right. That's what I'm saying. We need to do that, and then we can get into the
But I was
discussion.
supposed to let someone.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Okay, yep.
Just want to make sure.
No, I have it all planned, right here. Okay, so we need to, somebody make the motion.
Yep. I move to accept the application for Telica Imaging to add a medical office use, designate HCA parking, and add a fenced area for cooling unit. Is that the right one?
Yep.
Yep, at 58 Plastow Road, tax map 26. Lot 1 is noted in the legal notice, PB 23-08 as complete.
Second,
Second?
okay, second. Okay. Take the vote. How many in favor?
Is there discussion or whatever to that point, or do we just,
Just accepting it's complete.
This
Okay.
is for just the application is complete. And
Fair
then
enough.
the public hearing gets open, then we talk.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
No.
Did you get the vote on that one, Charlene? Okay, so where do we go from here?
Well, you need to state your reasons.
Yep.
There's no site plan.
And as far as need, that was my understanding. The need is that we have dairy imaging, which is also associated with the third building we have in town. It's medical, with the ER is what they're called. right?
Well, don't, they have an MRI at that new
Yes,
ER,
right.
right?
Well, they have it covered. Yes, they do. And what I wanted to say was, if we're looking for imaging of any kind, we have got, because I can vouch for that, I've been to 2 of them already. There is one very close in Derry, imaging. There is one in Raymond. And there is one in other places which are single buildings, which are served to save 70% on MRI, CT scans, ultrasound, x-rays, and more. And they definitely will work out on insurance if you do not have it. Cost savings are, provide you the out-of-pocket costs. The access is, there's one in Bedford, there's one in Derry, they're all over the place. Now, the one in Derry is associated with the very building that we are with. So if you need anything, that is where you would go anyway, and that's where I went. So, the need is just not there. We have plenty.
But we
This is what
can-
I'm talking.
But can we vote on need, though, if they fit the regulations?
That's
It's
my
just
other-
like the extra tire stores in town and all that. So I based my thing on, I read the letter from the town attorney.
Yes, no,
You
the
said
other
we'll
thing,
vote.
that's the other thing.
I'm just saying that's how I looked at it.
Okay, well, is anybody got anything
And
else?
to be honest with you, I don't understand why the admin reached out to the attorney on this. There seemed to have been, the last communication we got on this was June 19th. And we were told at that time that they didn't have a transformer from Unitil. And that was like 2 months ago. And so I didn't even think this was moving
I
forward.
didn't either.
And then we got, the packet information. So I was kind of surprised that this was taking place tonight.
And do you mind if I address that as well? I don't want to interrupt, but if I'm able to address some of these, I'm happy to do so.
Could I just for the record,
Yes,
I'll
you
just
can.
state what my reasoning was. I personally don't have any animus or position with respect to the business or need or anything to that effect. I do think that as an applicant, you should probably go through the normal site plan review, and the lack of that is what determined my no vote. Is there a particular reason why we're asking to have the site plan review waived?
Sure, I'm happy to address that, sir. So when we've opened our locations, and yours would be our 10th site, we operate as medical retail. We've never been asked to do a full site plan. In essence, honestly, operating a Telica Imaging is like operating any of the other retail locations. We did not want to provide a site plan at present time, hoping that this would be classified as traditional retail space. I do recognize there are other imaging organizations. What I would say about Derry, to the individual's comments, is we offer no prior authorization. You've had imaging, most likely you've had to wait for your insurance company. We have a very unique relationship that provides immediate access for the community. The absolute choice of the community of Plaistow is to say yes or no. If the answer is we need to have a full site plan, we need to adjust, it may not be the right environment for us. And again, we don't ever want to cause any undue pressure. We've worked with Unitil because Unitil is currently 187 weeks delayed on providing transformers. They have told us that they have full communities that they want to open to the public, that they unfortunately do not have the electrical source. We have worked with them for the last few months to say, if we provide a customer supplied transformer, can we open to serve the community? Because there are access concerns, and that we would eventually replace our transformer that we would personally buy ourselves with the one that they would provide and put that on the grid. And they've agreed to do that. So to the question of why, the Unitil thing has changed, it's because we've been working thoughtfully with them, saying, we understand there's a need. I have family that live in New Hampshire. I've lived in Massachusetts myself. I can tell you getting access to care is extremely difficult and very, very expensive. I've had family members that have gone into Boston for care that is $7,400 for an MRI. The prices that are listed at Derry are still more expensive than what Telica is willing to offer the community as a way to reduce the healthcare burden.
If I were to grant all that, and those do sound like compelling reasons, again, the not doing the full site plan review, I mean, is that like if you had to do the site plan review, if you weren't granted a waiver, this would be that would be prohibitive?
We've never honestly been asked for that. I operate in 10
if you were
other
being
shopping
asked,
centers.
if you were being asked for it, like in this case, if you have 3 votes against, saying that because there's no site plan review process or what, so would you be amenable to that?
It certainly would be amenable to the idea. We'd have to understand the cost and what's being asked very specifically. I have our architect Daniel on the phone with me as well, so happy to talk through what would be required to do a site plan. We just have not traditionally been asked for that, but I'm not opposed to performing those actions, to be clear.
All right, thank you.
I just wanted to express again that they are not more money, this particular group, and that this group is plentiful around here, and we keep repeating ourselves. We could have our own building of imaging if you would like that. I don't think the town was interested. The places are around you to get the definitely good care. I could not believe it. And you can get appointments from Monday through Saturday at any time, and you will get in. I did twice. And the doctor, all they have to do is put the order in, and they take care of everything. And it was very well done. I just don't see the need for another medical building just for imaging, especially MRI, that when we have the needed things around town.
But my thing is, I don't think,
But ma'am, can I ask a question? What is our pricing that we're offering for the community? I don't know if you can say that they're the same cost as us, because you don't even actually know what we're going to
Oh,
charge
no, I
the
didn't say, I'm
community.
sorry.
So I feel like
didn't mean to
that's
say
not a
that.
fair statement.
No, I didn't mean to say that for years. But when we have something right here, why are you coming all the way from Utah to New Hampshire? I mean, did you look and see what we had around here?
Absolutely. I've looked at Dairy Imaging, I've looked at Shields, I've looked at Reyes. I know the market and the competitors. We are offering a product of superior quality with a reduced price point.
Okay, are you going to be nonprofit?
Yes, we are a nonprofit. We are 100% wholly owned by Intermountain Health. We are not a
These are
for-profit
not.
entity. I own 0% of Telica. It is owned by a corporation that is dedicated in their mission to help people live the healthiest lives possible.
Okay, these individuals here pay taxes. So also for a resource, that is also more advisable to the towns. That's all.
Tim, have we ever approved anything like this before without a site plan? I'm just curious.
No,
Well,
not since I've been on it.
the building that they're gonna occupy is empty. So it's excuse me, it's another tenant in a shopping center. So if they wanted to do a site plan, they would have to get permission from the owner of the property to do that site plan. They're a tenant,
Right.
just like Party Time is, or Sushi Time, or any other building facility in a shopping center.
That's a good
And thank you
question.
for that, sir, because that would be my general question is why would a site plan be necessary if we're just occupying an inland space? And the only difference, I believe, is medical retail versus retail. We're not changing any of the structure or the zoning. All we're doing is occupying that space, to your point, sir. That's why part of my hesitation with the site plan is we've never had that ask because we don't materially change that space in any capacity.
Okay, can I make a comment?
But it is a change of use. It's not
It is
just
a
like a
change of use.
retail store. And also, when we do a site plan review, we hear from the other departments. We hear from fire, we hear from police, and in this case, I would like to hear from the health officer. I always thought that these type of places were standalone buildings, not in
Most
with
of them are.
retail stores. So,
No, there's many organizations that will use the retail space as a way to be able to reduce the cost because our hospitals operate at about $300 a square foot. We can rent these for much cheaper, still provide the same level of safety and security, and be able to do this at a more affordable price point to be able to give that back to the community. But again, we generate, to your point about this, about the community, we only take patients that are safe and secure to go there. We work with our local healthcare providers, and we've already had permission from Walmart and the other tenants in that shopping center to say that's not a conflict of interest. We generate significantly less traffic. The reality is if you were to put a subway in that space, what would materially impact that space more with traffic and throughput would be the restaurant location versus Telica. We have a limited number of staff and patients that we treat, or we do it in a very highly efficient way. But again, we're not making any major alterations in the slightest. We're just equipping the space that exists.
Okay.
so you've also, you have 2 other locations in New Hampshire, Manchester and Nashua? And are those,
Yes, ma'am.
are those up and running?
No, we're in the process of building those out, and they're the same thing in retail spaces similar to this one.
And what type of review are you going through with the boards in those cities?
They actually didn't ask. We've had full permit approval right now. We have our contractor selected. So they went through and reviewed our permit set. They did not require a full site plan, and they've already approved us to operate.
And was it a change of use that you're going into?
No, it's the same. It's
well,
just
this
like a
is-
retail shopping center.
Okay, but what, with our zoning, changing it to medical is a change of use.
But
So,
my argument is we're not changing it to medical. We operate as a retail organization. Yes, there are medical services there, but we are a true retail operation, just like the tenants to the left and the right of us.
Okay.
They don't classify us as medical retail. They classify us as retail. That's why they didn't require another additional approval. We've honestly never had that from another town, whether it's inside Utah or outside.
The unit that they're letting you look at, that unit is part now of an empty building.
Yes,
Bed and
ma'am.
bath. They chose not to use that, but we have a company or maybe somebody looking at that building now, and they should have the right to decide whether they want that unit or not. That is part of their whole building, their unit.
I'm not understanding that logic, miss, and I don't mean to be argumentative, but that space has never been equipped to your point. The anchor tenant vacated. If there's another tenant that wants to come in, if they want the entire space, they're welcome to it. The landlord themselves has been unable to lease it. They've asked us to take the inline unit that's never been built out, and they would like another anchor tenant to be the one to take the existing space from Bed Bath & Beyond. But we're not prohibiting anyone from taking it. No one has expressed interest. It's never been built out in the history of that building.
It hasn't been empty long enough, this one. And Service Merchandise did use it.
No,
They
Karen,
were
it's
first.
not going in
Oh,
with Bed Bath and
it's-
Beyond. There's a small little space.
I know, it was right there. Service Merchandise used that space.
They may have, but I'm
They
saying
used it.
no one has been in there for quite a while, right?
Right, no one's been in there because Bed and Bath then did not want it. But that building is entitled to see that space if they want to use it or not, because it is as one unit.
Wouldn't that be up to the landlord who owns it?
Yes,
How
the
they split
landlord
it up?
too. Yep,
So I guess if the landlord wanted to split it up and keep this separate and then just rent the space that Bed Bath and Beyond used, that would be okay, right? Because that's up to the landlord.
that's up to the landlord, but if the landlord is looking at finding somebody to take the space, then what is he going to say to that person if that's the reason they
They'd
can't
probably
have
just
it?
say, this is the space you have, this other space that wasn't being used. I'm just saying, it's up to the landlord how he wants to split it up. They could probably split up Bed Bath & Beyond a couple different ways if they want it, right?
Exactly. There's nothing prohibiting the owner from demising the Bed Bath & Beyond for 4 more stores if they wanted to make small retail locations and make very tight inline units. Of course, it'd be at the discretion of this board to approve, but we're not prohibiting the landlord from using their existing space. They have separated it into 2 spaces, and we said we will take the vacant space that no one has wanted to retrofit. But if they had a tenant who wanted all of this space, they wouldn't lease it to us. They've turned to us saying, this has been a hard place for us to be able to rent. It doesn't even have a storefront. It's been vacant. We're willing to equip this and make this look like a nice store. But that's the struggle they've had, is they've not had a tenant being willing to lease the entire space.
Right, because that Bed and Bath was in there, but when Service Merchandise was in there, that is not true.
But I guess I don't understand what the argument is, miss. At the end of the day, if it's their space to be able to lease at their discretion, is there a reason why we shouldn't be able to occupy it? I've heard
I'm
there's a
getting
concern
right
about
at the
there's
need
another.
of it. There is no need. Here we go again. 1, 2, 3, let's add something else. When we do not need it, it is available and good prices and proper care. And we do
But
have
isn't
that
that at
decision
the-
to make.
But isn't that at the discretion of the community to decide? If we're offering a lower
glad
price
to
point
ask
than
the
dairy, which
community.
I've looked up dairy's points, dairy's MRI is $800. My MRI is not $800. I've looked up their prices previously. So if I'm willing to give somebody a service of fellowship trained radiologist with insurances that waive prior authorization at a lower price, why can't the community decide if they want to go there? If I decide to open up the retail space and it's not successful, then I won't exist in your community, but
Well,
I'm not coming
excuse
in
me,
as a
$600 was
for-profit.
mine. So.
I'm sorry?
Tell me, $600 was mine at the London
With
Dairy.
insurance.
Yes, with some.
With,
I
right,
have some.
exactly. It's,
Yep.
right, and we accept insurance without prior authorization. So the
Yep.
same exact thing applies with a cheaper price for us.
I had no problem. Not complete insurance either, so. I'm just saying, if
I
I
understand
used
that.
it,
I understand, Miss,
and I've
that's your
seen it.
experience, but at the end of the day, that's like saying we shouldn't allow another place that sells clothing in your community because one exists there. I mean, the intent of the free market is for us to go in there and help remove the cost barriers for the healthcare industry. I understand if you decide never to use Teleca, I'm not saying that everyone has to. There is, if you look at our Google ratings in Utah, I've never incentivized a patient ever in my life. I have a 4.9 out of 5 rating. Out of over 1,000 people that have said this is a lot less frictional than going to a hospital. That's all we want to do is
I
stop
agree
in
with
your
that.
community and do that. If the community doesn't want us there, I will still exist in Manchester and Nashua. I just wanted to offer this service to the community at a way that I thought I could give back, being a previous New England resident myself.
Okay, and I'm just saying, we went through 3 buildings now. ER is finally going to be finished, and we have buildings surrounding this community. I don't see why we have to start another space again in a already covered material. We keep doing this, and I've made a vow not to do this anymore.
But I don't know the right answer. Are we allowed just not to let someone in because we have other businesses like it in town?
Right, what if another tire store came in?
If it's zoned, I don't think we have a choice. That's I'm giving you my opinion.
No, but
If
you-
it's zoned properly,
we
right?
can.
If it's zoned
I
properly.
believe at this point, if the applicant wants to go through the regular site
Right.
plan
Procedure,
review
go ahead.
process,
Right.
then,
All right,
we'll,
I'm just throwing things out there, right?
yeah.
Yep,
Just to make sure we totally talk it through.
No, it's, again, just to reiterate, my position is that, it does constitute in my mind a change of use and probably requires a site plan review.
Right.
So, like I said, I'm agnostic as to what goes in that space, and, whether or not someone wants to utilize, said services or not, so.
okay, so what, they have to do a site plan then, so?
If they want to continue, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep.
Well, just a technicality, the motion was made to accept the application, and it was voted down, so right now, there is no motion on the floor. So
Okay.
if your intent is to not accept this as complete, somebody has to make that motion, and so there's an affirmative vote somehow or other.
Okay, so instead of it being, so I move to, would it be not accept?
That would do it.
Okay. I move to not accept the application from Telica Imaging to add a medical office use, designate HCA parking, and add a fenced area for a cooling unit at 58 Plaistow Road, tax map 26, lot 1, and as noted in the legal notice PB 23-08 as not complete. Is that correct? Should I add not complete?
No, you can, and you're moving to not accept it as complete.
No, okay, not accepted as complete.
Okay, I'll
So I
second
need a
it.
second,
I'll second it.
okay? So call
Now vote.
for the vote.
Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nope.
I oppose.
Charlene, got that? Yep. So what is our final thing?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. All right. Thank you, though, for being here with us.
Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Ready for the next public hearing?
Karen, I have to recuse myself from this.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Did you get that? I did. Okay. Okay, Charlene.
So you can appoint Tim.
Yes, I will appoint him, right? Yep. So, did you get that? I'll appoint Tim? Yeah. For a place, okay. PB 2309, the completeness of an application from Anderson Galloway for a lot line adjustment that proposes an equal exchange of 1.06 acre of land between Mount Misery, tax map 21, lot 5, and 325 Main Street, tax map 9, lot 18, both in the RC2 zoning district. The applicant is the owner of record of the Mount Misery parcel, and Stuart V. McCormick III and Diane McCormick are the property owners of record of the 325 Main Street parcel. The application is found to be complete. The planning board may immediately conduct the public hearing. Are they here? Oh, okay.
I just wanted to add something. I have everything saved on my laptop if you want me to put anything on the screen.
That would probably be best. Yeah, just so everybody gets
Okay.
the visual.
Perfect.
Anytime? Okay. Well said. That kind of sums up my whole thing. But ladies and gentlemen of the board, my name is Ryan Lavelle, representing James
Sorry,
M.
what is it?
Ryan
Ryan.
Lavelle?
Thank you.
Representing James M. Lavelle Associates. This lot line adjustment, as she stated, just an equal exchange of area, the easiest kind, of that 1.06 acres there, shown parcel A and parcel B being exchanged. Really, the reason for this lot line change is that Mr. Galloway had recently bought the property over, started doing his due diligence on what he wanted to do for his property, and our team surveyed this large parcel, and we're able to see where those lines were on parcel A that are going to be abandoned. The other sheet would probably be better for a visual for everybody. Yeah. One more. Yeah, that's a good visual right there, because the parcel that was being exchanged is that parcel A is being given to McCormick, and you saw that it comes right up by his house, right near his septic, right in his lawn and stuff. And the idea was that he really wasn't using that behind parcel, so it just made a lot more sense for them to do the equal exchange and give Mr. McCormick more spot that he can actually use. I went to set the corner personally, and it was way out in his lawn, and I was like, I think these people are not going to be very thrilled. They didn't think it was that close. Nobody did. The property really hadn't been surveyed really well.
So which of the ones are being exchanged? You have parcel A.
You see parcel A there?
I do.
That was owned by Galloway.
Yeah.
And what's happening is, trying to see the other sheet, parcel B, you'll get a better visual on this one, the next sheet. Down.
Here's
there another
parcel A.
There's another one showing
actually
parcel B better that's
one
not right
here.
there. It's on sheet, is it on sheet 1?
I think it's the second one in our packet.
Second one in the pack?
Oh, this isn't the right one?
Look like this one. So it looks
It's on my sheet too, but I don't.
Yeah,
But those are being exchanged, the parcel A and
Did I get
parcel
that
B.
one?
I was looking for this one. Yeah.
yeah, sheet 2 of
Yeah, sheet
3.
2.
This one was.
That's it, right there.
There we go. That's a good representation.
Okay, it is big.
That's very good to look at right there.
Got you.
wherever that
So,
one-
yeah, basically,
Goes with
those
that.
two parcels flopped with each other of equal size.
Okay, that's
So-
what I wanted to see where they
Yeah,
were.
that's a much better visual for you guys. That McCormick owned parcel B, and it's not shown because there's no topography of this property, but there's a good amount of wetland and such behind his house. He really wasn't even able to access parcel B without kind of going over on Mr. Galloway's property to even get back there. And it's just wooded and no use at all. And but he is able to use parcel A. So they came up with a mutual agreement that was satisfactory for both of them to switch their area equally to make it as clean as possible and bring it before you today. I'm happy for any questions that you guys have, but like I said, equal exchange of area. It'll make both of my clients quite happy that it's all settled. The new corners have already been set, which would be a condition of approval, but I have already done that. And it's all there.
Okay, any discussion? Any questions?
No, I don't have any.
Well, you gotta accept the application, right?
Yep.
Right.
Thanks for your help.
I move to accept the application for a lot line adjustment that proposed an equal exchange of 1.06 acres from Mount Misery, tax map 21, lot 5, and 325 Main Street, tax map 9, lot 18, as noted in the legal notice for PB 23-09 as complete.
I'll second it. Okay, the vote?
I'm sorry, who was the second?
I did.
You are? Sorry, Karen. I wasn't
That's okay.
expecting that.
Okay, then we'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your
I'm
time.
not done
I,
yet.
oh, yeah.
That's just accepted the application.
Oh, I thought that was approval. Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Incoming.
Yeah, because you gotta open up the public hearing.
Now I have to open up the public hearing.
Thanks.
Okay, I got you.
So there might be people in the audience. that-
Audience, right,
Yep.
exactly. Okay. So I ask for open discussion, correct? Okay, is there anybody in the audience for open discussion? None of you?
All right.
Guess not.
I didn't think so.
Okay. Now we'll hold the public hearing. 5 after 7. Any discussion?
Yeah, is there any discussions?
No, it seems
No, it
pretty
seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
straightforward.
it's being very straightforward,
There's a
right.
draft motion ready if anyone would like to take it.
So, Tim, do we have to close the public hearing first before we vote?
No,
No?
I don't think so. We don't close the public hearing before we vote, do we?
Yeah, you should, right?
We actually should.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
all right.
So would you like to do that, Tim?
Well, it's, I mean, you just, I don't know, we do it so infrequently, I guess.
Right,
you should.
exactly.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay,
I second it.
okay. Second one there.
No discussion on that motion?
No,
No.
no discussion? Oh, yeah, vote? All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right.
And then the public session is now closed.
Closed.
So now you can vote to accept the application.
Okay, again, no discussion?
Move to approve the lot line adjustment that exchanges 1.06 acres of land between Zero Mount Misery, tax map 21, lot 5, and 325 Main Street, tax map 9, lot 18, and as noted in legal notice PB 23-09, with the following conditions. All final plans shall be submitted to the planning department for recording within 90 days of the date of this approval. $120 recording fee, $40 per sheet with 3 sheets shall be submitted with recording documents, correct symbols in the legend and on plan that designate the easement to make them consistent with each other.
I second it.
Now vote again. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No.
All right.
Now you're good.
No, I hear you. No, I appreciate
Now
it, guys.
you're
Thank
good.
you very much for your time tonight.
Karen,
All right.
could you read this little bit into the record
Oh,
on the bottom
yeah.
of page
Oh.
2 and over into page 3?
See, my papers got confused here, so I'm not knowing if I'm even looking at the right one.
Just for the minutes, there are no applicable impact fees for this approval, and there'll be a $25 L-chip fee payable to Rockingham County Registry of Deeds.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Sorry, I didn't see that.
No, I do not have the full right one here. I've mixed them all up now. This one's imaging. Okay, that's done. This is done. So now we're on the third one, correct? If I get it right. That's not it. There we go. That's this one now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have to read the third one, which I need. This is ridiculous. Where did I put all 3 of those?
All right.
Yeah, I don't have the third one here to read it off.
It's on the agenda.
This is what we're looking for. That looks like it.
Looks like it.
Special event?
Okay. Application for a special event, yes.
You don't have to read the public notice on this
Oh,
one because it's just an event.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
I'm going, where is it?
So this part off of the agenda needs to be read?
Yeah, that's the one I can't find, that page. Yeah, I was going to read the third thing on there, and I can't find it now. Thank you very, very much. All right, here we go. All right, so PB 2310. The completeness of an application from Ronnie Hayden. Okay, for one-time special event permit to include 2 event dates. The event's custom car shows are proposed to be held in the parking area of the property located at 4 Wilder Drive, tax map 32, lot 33, with overflow parking proposed at 2 Wilder Drive, tax map 32, lot 35, both in the I-2 zoning district. The owner of record of the 4 Wilder Drive parking lot is Fieldstone Condo Association. Property owner of record for 2 Wilder Drive is True to Form Reality LLC. The application is found to be complete. The planning board may immediately conduct the public hearing. Okay.
All right.
It's gotta be this one. Yes, that is. Right, okay. I thought I had it all here in a row.
Can't work with that one.
Okay.
Okay, so now Chuck is a voting member again.
Yes. Okay, so we'll put that in first. Chuck is a voting member. Back in.
So we can go forward. I'll move to accept the application for 2 special events, specifically car shows, proposed by Ronnie Hayden, 4 Wilder Drive, to be held on September 24th and October 8th, and is noted in the legal notice for PB 23-10 is complete.
I second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Now we can public hearing it.
Okay, so now we go to the public hearing. Now I have the right stuff. Okay. We have a butters list and labels, all that. Application fees.
You want to just have them come up and talk about it?
Are they going to come up and speak?
Is there anyone want to come up and speak
Yeah.
to this application?
Good to go.
Yep.
All right. So I'm Ronnie Hayden. I own Hayden Graphics on Wilder Drive. So we had a car show about a month ago, and it was an awesome turnout. There was, young kids, older people, probably around 400 cars, which was way more than I expected because I made a flyer for it 3 days before. So it was pretty big turnout, but I have some pictures of the parking lot if you wanted to see. Everything was parked neatly. There was no vandalism. A couple of the people got a little scared, but I talked to everybody after, and everybody was good, and everybody that's on the condo board signed on it, and they're down with it. So that's what I'm doing. And then a bike did crash on the way out. I don't really know what he was doing because there was a video of it, and it just didn't. Seems like he just didn't turn. I don't know what was going on, but apparently he bought the bike the day before too. So who knows? But I already hired a police detail for the entrance just so there's no messing around leaving. And that's pretty much it, I guess. And it's 8 to 11 this Sunday. But I don't know if it's going to rain or not, so I might have it like the next Sunday. I would have to run it by everybody and make sure they're all good for that too.
Now, the police detail, is that with the town?
Yeah. Yeah, I called Plastow Police and set it up.
Do you have a permit
A permit from the
for the
police.
event?
I don't know.
That's kind of what
No.
he's here
That's
for.
what he's here for.
Yeah,
to
that's
try to
what I'm
get
here
him-
for,
Oh,
yeah.
no, I just want to know if they applied for it.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh, he is. That's what he's
it's
doing
up to
now.
us to
This is
approve
it.
it.
This
This
is
is us to
I'm
approve it.
sorry. Sorry.
Confused.
So
I get it
Well,
now.
wasn't there also another event that happened with a car catching on fire?
Yeah, but that was an hour and a half after the show, and the cops actually know about those kids. And for some reason, everybody thought it was like my friends, but I don't know those kids. And they're there almost every day until that event, actually. Now, I haven't seen them since, but they would come at like 5 and just do burnouts and donuts on their bikes and cars for hours, honestly. It was like every day. And then the cops would show up and actually come and talk to me because they would drop my name. And I was like, I don't know them. And they're like, well, they said that nobody cares and they could do this. And I said, I don't know. Like, I I mean, it's not my lot back there, so I'm not complaining, but I mean, if it was in front of my place, I'd be mad. I mean, the whole place it's all burnout marks back there.
But that last event, you didn't pull a permit for that, right?
No, and I've had a couple like small things, but I didn't think that was going to be that big. So, I mean, we have Hero Pups. It's a Murph fundraiser. We've raised $25,000 for Hero Pups. So we've done a lot of good things, and that was I just didn't think it was going to be that big. We've had like one little cookout before, so I never really thought I'd need a permit.
Well, you said when you coordinated with the police department.
Yep.
Right, for a police detail. Did they indicate, like, what does a detail entail?
So they're just going to have a police officer with a cruiser right at the entrance.
So did they say anything else? I mean,
No,
did
they
you run it
were
by them?
I don't know, they were cool about everything, and everything was fine.
So when you say entrance, do you mean on Old County Road? Or do you mean
Basically Wilder
at your
Drive to Old
location?
County, because that's so people leave like, and this is kind of parking lot, so you can see, and like this is the road that goes out to Old County. So I want to have a cop like right at the end of it, just so nobody's messing around when they're leaving.
Because I believe a lot of the neighbors on Old County
Yeah,
were complaining about how fast people were driving
Yeah.
that day.
yeah. So I think
I
a police
believe it
officer
was
there would.
motorcycles and cars.
Yeah, I mean, I think a police officer would put an end to that stuff.
I don't know if you had a chance to read the letters from
I did.
Right. The
fire chief and the police chief,
Yeah,
and they're both,
Did you get a copy of those?
yeah,
yeah, because they're both really requesting that some safety measures are put into place
yeah.
and approved by both the fire chief and the
Yeah.
police chief. Has that been done?
They haven't. No, I haven't gotten anything from them.
Did you ask them for it, and did you submit a
I
safety plan
did
to either
not.
one of them?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you my feelings now
Yeah.
where it's open. You know, it's stated that you need to have a safety plan in front of them,
Yeah.
right? And if
Yeah.
you haven't done that,
Yeah.
it's in my opinion, it's kind of tough to approve. That's
Yeah.
my opinion now, but if there's anyone else who wants to speak, I'm more than willing to.
Did you get these letters from the police?
Yeah,
police
it
and
was
fire?
like this week, earlier this
Okay.
week, I think.
So
That's
I
what I
guess
got.
that's been, I personally don't have anything against an event
I
like
mean,
this.
honestly, I think if
But if they gave you the letters,
Yep.
okay, and they're saying that they want X, Y, and Z,
Yeah,
kind of have to.
then,
yeah,
give them what they want. We can give you a permit.
Along with the detail, I think they're also looking for like fire rescue to be out there,
Yeah.
in case there's an event.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
most,
especially where both of them were called the last time. Right?
Yeah, I know,
They need to
and
know what they kind of need to know what's going on. They need to be prepared for it.
yeah. So, I mean, it's like I've never seen that at a.
Did somebody else want to
You can come up and speak.
come right up here?
Honestly, every car show I've never seen.
You
fire
probably had
department or
more
anything.
people than you ever have seen before.
I mean, you stated you had 400 people there, right?
400 cars.
400, all right, so 400 cars. and
800 people.
Right, so
it
you're
was a
talking
little
800
crazy.
people, and that was more than you expected.
That's more.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people, so a safety plan has to be put into place.
Excuse me, would you speak your
Can you
name
just let her know your name, please?
Yeah.
into the mic, please? Would you give
No,
me?
I'm familiar with what it looks like over there.
Yeah.
Cindy Hayden.
Thank you.
By getting the police details, we figured that would cover like all of the safety issues.
Right, but in the letters, they wanted all
They want
these different
fire,
things
too.
done, the police and the fire, and they haven't even been approached on all of these. And that's kind of how I stand. I listen to my police and fire department, right? Because that's public safety, and that's their job. And I think if you receive that, and he says what needs to be in place for all of this, one police officer can't handle 800 people.
It would be more than one inside, one by the road.
Yeah, if we have to hire more, I would.
And with the number of vehicles, like the people here, it's not like a giant crowd. They walk around and then they.
Yeah,
I get it, 800 people still a lot of people.
Yeah.
No matter how you slice it, that's quite a bit of people. I'm just giving my opinion. I don't know how everyone else thinks. But if they want some safety measures and certain things answered,
Yep.
I think those have to be done. That's, That's
if
how I stand.
If
I
I
mean-
call them tomorrow, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's
that's
probably
just,
best
that's
thing to do is
how I
give
feel. I
them
don't
a
know how
call in
anyone
the
else
morning
feels.
and
Yeah.
say, hey,
Yeah.
what do I need to get
What
this
do I have to
done?
do? Right, exactly.
it's not a problem.
We have no problem as long as,
You know,
they have to
But
follow this.
if that's their job, public safety, and I
Yeah.
want to make sure they're comfortable with everything.
Yeah.
If it wasn't 800 people and if there weren't those couple
Yeah.
issues the last
I-
time, that's what we have to think of.
Yeah. I mean, I explained a lot of it online, and I feel like, people that are there were kind of like mad that stuff happened too. So I just feel like I don't
Well,
think
800 people.
I don't think it's gonna happen
I
this
mean,
time.
800 people, all it takes is one.
I know.
That's all it takes.
I know.
All it takes is one person end up in the
Yeah.
woods again, right?
And go figure, it's one of the kids that's always doing burnouts. They show up after and messing around. And I think because there was like a couple people just hanging out at my shop after, he just goes back there and does a burnout for 5 minutes straight. I'm like, what is this kid doing? And the car catches on fire, and actually started yelling at them, telling them to move it back because it was like near other people's equipment back there. And I'm like, what are you
Is this
doing?
something you could work with the police and fire?
Oh,
on?
yeah.
So if you went to
Yeah.
them and said that
Yeah.
there's a letter here, there were specific control,
Yeah.
what
That's not a
controls do you need to have in place?
Yep.
So I mean,
Yeah,
that
whatever
would go
they
a
would-
long ways.
Yeah, I'll call them tomorrow and figure everything out. And I figured when I called the police, I kind of told them what I wanted to do and everything. And I said, I don't know if they heard about the other show, and they didn't say anything. And they just,
Well-
I figured I would talk to somebody about it, but
Was it a police officer or was it dispatch?
yeah, I mean, it was dispatch, so that's probably why. And yeah, I just thought that maybe they would
You got to go in
want me
there.
to talk to the police.
They're going to want to see a whole plan
Yeah,
of how you plan to take care
maybe
of
I'll
everything.
swing by their,
Yeah, if you want to do it. I mean, obviously that's going to have to happen before
yeah.
I think we can do anything.
Yep.
Did you want to speak on this?
Can I get you
Go
to
on.
come to this mic? Yeah. State your name and address, please. Hi, my name is Diane Hatfield. I live at 41 Old County Road, directly in front of the industrial park at Wilder Drive. I've lived there for 27 years, but even before the industrial park was built by John Wilder many years ago. We've had an ongoing problem with noise and racing down our street. This event on August 6th came out of nowhere, 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. Parade of cars came down the road, and they don't stay put. They go up and down the road, peeling out, going both ways up Old County. There's a family next to us that has little children. I didn't find out till later that this was an event called Cars and Coffee. That was a social media event. That was sort of impromptu. And according to the little flyer on social media, it was supposed to be from 8 to 11. The first incident was a motorcycle accident. And then later in the day was the car fire. But that event did not end at 11.
It ended
That-
at 11.
That event went on for hours, up and down the road. And they don't just park and look at the cars. They do burnouts and donuts the whole time. And this is an ongoing problem. I've called the police I don't know how many times. 1, 2 in the morning, you see cars, trucks, motorcycles going back there, doing burnouts and donuts, hours and hours and hours.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Now, you called the police.
Yes.
What was the police's response to that at all? I
They
mean,
said,
I'm assuming that
they
this
said,
was.
we'll check it out. And we watch the police go back there. Sometimes they leave before the police get there. Sometimes the police just chase them out of there, but that's about all they do.
Right. So I'm assuming though that those incidents are not directly related to,
No, those are
This is like an
incidents that have
ongoing
been
type
going
thing.
on for the last few years,
Okay.
and they always occur after business hours. So it's late at night or after 5, and then going until late at night, or on the weekends. My deck looks directly out at Wilder Drive, and back through my woods, I can see the headlights of them going through on the donuts. I have my air conditioning on and my windows closed, and it goes on for hours and hours and hours. The last time they had this event, the guests and spectators were peeling out, flying down Wilder and flying down Old County. The posted speed limit on Old County is 25. They were going double that, at least.
Just to separate the two, so we're not giving the impression, I mean, it sounds like there's an ongoing issue on Old County in this area, but it's not necessarily related to what we're talking about
Well,
today.
this sounds like the same kind of event that was held on August 6th.
When he purchased the condo there, that area was full of burnouts then, and there have been, I go after my regular work and do like cleaning. And all summer long, there's kids there with cars, ATVs. They come with a pickup truck with dirt bikes in the back, and they have been doing it forever.
And Harleys, there's a lot of Harleys back there that they stunt ride. So they do wheelies back and forth and do burnouts. I actually call the cops on them. So
And late at night.
Whose
sometimes-
property is that they're doing this on? Is it
So,
private property or?
my unit's here, and then it's like, there's another unit back there, and they said the guy doesn't care. And I think it's just crazy because I work late. Then sometimes at 1 a.m, they are there doing it. And I've called the cops on them. So it's not me and my event. Granted, yeah, probably some people left and floored it out of the street, but there's not burnout marks everywhere. For the most part, everybody was pretty good. But those kids are always there almost every day. Except, I don't know if you've noticed the past couple of weeks, they haven't been because I call the cops on them.
No, it's been quieter since August 6th.
Because of that.
So,
that
I
car
guess-
that caught on fire was those kids that are there all the time. And they showed up after because they heard about my event.
Well,
No, we don't want an argument back and forth,
No, I know.
right?
I'm just
But
saying.
I
just
guess my
wanted to
question
know.
would be, from what you were describing, was that from August 6th, what you saw that day, like what you were just
This happen all the
describing?
time.
we have an ongoing problem with that business
That
all the
group.
time. However, this event on August 6th was an impromptu car show. But it's not like I grew up with car cruises. My dad used to do car cruises at Skips and things like that.
Yep.
It's not one of those shows where you just sit and everybody looks at the cars. They're showing off to each other.
Right.
And so they're racing up and down, and they don't stay put. They go back and forth, up and down, like the whole time. And they had, I believe, an event, a barbecue fundraiser event last year, correct?
Yep.
Same thing happened. I had to call the police
On a
because
fundraiser?
they were racing up and down Old County.
That's a lie.
Well, we're not going to get into,
The cookout was lowriders. They were like 1960s cars. Nobody was racing anywhere in those things.
but regardless, you didn't pull permits for those, right?
No, but that was like a small one, and it's like my
Those are
friends. It's
smaller.
not-
Okay, but now you know. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to give my opinion. I've said it before. I'm not going to approve anything without the police or the fire.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
my
You
opinion.
really,
Everyone else might feel different, and that's why we all
Well,
vote.
I think
I
we're being
understand that
asked
totally.
for conditional approval based on what
We
police.
can do conditional or.
yeah, make it a
just,
condition so they can get it. and
Yeah,
then-
right. You can do the
can do
conditional,
it.
and that's here, and for that, I'm fine with that. But there's got to be the condition.
Yeah.
Police and fire need to sign
Must
off.
be there too.
Yeah, and it sounds to be sort of a larger issue, to your point. I mean,
Yeah, there
it's-
is another.
Yeah,
issue.
and I was going to say, I have no problem with a car show If you want to have music, if, like I said, I grew up with doing cruises.
You should come
okay?
to it.
Anyway, I have no problem with all that. What I have a problem with is the noise level back there, doing the burnouts and the donuts. I mean, it goes on it grates on your nerves. It goes on for hours and hours. And then the flying down Wilder and flying up and down Old County. That's what I have an issue with. So if he has the proper police details and they enforce some of that.
Well, that's why I'm surprised, is that Old County is, there's only access to it from two ends.
Two ways, right.
So, I mean, if someone's burning down, it isn't like they get away. Yeah.
When I go in on a Monday, it's not uncommon to see like a whole new stretch of burnouts in Wilder and
Yeah.
Old County, and I just think like, oh, the kids are at it again all weekend.
I
mean,
just
that
think that's a
area-
hot spot to do burnouts. Huh? Everybody just drives back there. I hear it all the time. Honestly, I mean, I'm always at my shop working, and I hear people doing like a random car will pull in, start whipping donuts back there, and then it's out, and it's always happening. But like I don't do anything about that. But like the bike guys got on my nerves because the burning of the car thing, and I was just like, I'm gonna call the cops every time these kids are back here now because I don't want them here.
Well, we were
Like,
in the shop.
everybody thinks I'm
after
associated with them.
that day, and there was probably a dozen of us after it was all over with, and we heard the car full rev on, burnouts, donuts, whatever, and all of a sudden we heard a pop, and the kid came running over for the fire extinguisher, and when we went out, we saw like black smoke, white smoke from the burnouts, and then like, you need more than a fire extinguisher, and it's just, it's ridiculous.
And I made them push the car into the middle of the lot because I was like, what are you doing? You gonna leave this right here? Like, I was like, push, because it was way in the back. And there were trucks back there.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it's like ASAP Restoration Company. I'm like, you guys are gonna burn their vehicles down too.
I know
Push
the
it.
area. I've been back there.
So,
You can see where the cars were parked and show that whole area. It's
No.
just all burnout from
I get,
from the
but
summer.
you have the emails from the chief of police
Yeah.
and the fire.
Yep.
So in there, it'll kind of specify what they're looking for.
okay.
Right.
Yep, I'll call them up and figure it all out.
Yep.
Now, in terms of, I mean, the conditional approval talks about, coordinating with the police and the fire.
Right.
Is there a date, I mean, a time range on it? I'm assuming that it's not going until 11 PM or something like that.
No,
Morning to 11.
yeah, 8 in the morning to 11 in the morning.
Yeah,
That's
that
it.
would probably be on the application, right?
Yeah, and then I'm assuming then that the police would be when it's 11 o'clock and it's time to,
Yeah, they'd clear out. So my guess is if you're having a detail, right, you're probably better off keeping them there till, like, if you're ending at 11, I keep them
Yeah.
there till noon time so everybody gets out of there.
Yeah, that's right. I had them from 9 to noon. That's
Well, I'd probably start them right when you're starting,
That's right, yeah.
and
Is it?
that
Oh,
hour after,
maybe
just to
it-
make sure.
Maybe it was actually 8 to noon.
Okay, so what are the hours gonna be? Because
It's 8 to 11 is the show.
it kind of, right now, it kind of looks like it's 7 AM to 4 PM.
It said on the application.
Oh, that-
Put an hour prep time or something cleanup.
Okay, so, but the actual event is from what
That's
to what?
probably the other,
Yeah, start
Okay,
time
one.
including setup, right? So 7 to noon, I see here.
Yep.
And then the end time including cleanup 4, so noon to 4. So I see what you're saying, Lori.
yeah.
Kind of confusing. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so,
so that's the second event, maybe. Or did somebody make a typo?
okay, so what would be September 24th? What would the hours be?
That's 8 to 11.
8 to 11?
That's not what it says here.
I
Well,
know.
it says
It says
including
October
setup.
8th noon.
October 8th is noon to 4.
4.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so we can try to clean this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So on September 24th, including the setup, so you're gonna start setting up at 7 AM.
Yeah.
And you would end at noon.
7 to noon.
On October 8th,
It's.
you're running
noon
it from noon to 4.
4. Right.
So what, does that include your setup time and end time to clean up?
Guess, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna start the setup at noon time.
Mhm.
So that basically means you're running it from like 1 to 3, so then you have time to clean up at 4?
Maybe we'll just add an hour on each. Yeah,
So you're talking 11,
11 to 5, I would say then.
11 to 5.
Okay, can we go over it one more time?
Yeah.
But
What
the
are the
event,
times
because
again?
I'm going to add this, want to add this all to the motion.
Yeah,
right?
so I want it clear before
Yeah,
we
Right.
even,
September
And then
24th.
when the motion's made, keep me honest.
okay.
Okay, so that'll be set, but the actual, and I'm going to put in there, the actual event time on the 24th
Yep.
is 8 to 11.
Yep.
That's correct, right? Now, for October 8th, the actual event time would be noon to 4.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, now here's where you got to keep me straight.
Well, because, and I think, you definitely would talk to both chiefs. And
Yeah, both police.
from
and
what
fire.
I've
That's what they
read,
said.
it looks like they want some kind of medical emergency plan.
Yep.
They want to know about crowd control. They want to know about vehicles getting in and out, barriers being placed. So just, so if you got both letters, those are all the things you're going to have to answer.
Okay.
All right, so we'll give this a shot, and if I got to clean it up, you let me know.
Yeah,
all right?
yeah.
I move to grant the special event permit application for 2 special events, specifically car shows, proposed by Ronnie Hayden, 4 Wilder Drive, to be held on September 24th. The start time and the cleanup time will go from 7 a.m. to noon time. The event will run from 8 to 11 a.m. And October 8th, the setup and end time will go from 11 a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m., but the actual event will go from 12 o'clock noon to 4 p.m. And there's noted in the legal notice for PB 23-10 with the following conditions. Review and approval by both the Plastow Police and Fire Chiefs of a safety plan. This approval is for the noted dates only. Any additional events will require the amendment of the site plan. How was that?
Good job.
Excellent.
That was
Job.
good. Second,
Second, you're going to second it, Laurie?
yeah.
Call a vote.
Okay, want to take a vote?
Was there a second?
Yeah,
Oh,
me.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Laurie did.
I did.
I'm sorry, Laurie did.
Missed out.
It's okay. Okay, take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, opposed? None.
All right,
Aaron,
so,
do you want to read that other information at the bottom? Where it says other information?
yes,
Other information. I was on the last page there.
it's right underneath where it says conditional approval underneath that.
If you want, I can read it. Do you want me to read it?
Okay, yep.
Okay, so the other information that's included, the applicant should be cautioned that hosting special events that are not part of a planning board approved site plan is a violation of that site plan. Continued violations of any planning board approved site plan could result in the following: notice of violation, higher enforcement action in the courts, including fines and injunctions, potential revocation of the site plan, which would also result in the revocation of all certificates of occupancy for all businesses.
But obviously, the 24th is Sunday, so you got 2 things. You got
Yeah.
time's
Right.
not on your side,
I know.
and and the forecast doesn't look that
I
great.
I
either.
know. That's what stinks.
We hope to see everyone there.
But yeah, so work with police, fire.
Yep.
You have the emails, you know exactly what they want for the plan. They've listed it off exactly what they want to see.
Yep.
So, get together with them and it's contingent on that. Without that, then
Awesome.
it's not approved.
It
But you
probably
get that
wouldn't
done, you're
hurt
good.
for you neighbors to maybe get a group together and, I know, but you probably talked to them 100 times. I know. For your particular, case. It's something, I know. But I think that will work.
Cool.
Right,
Thank you.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it?
That's it.
Want to
Close
the
it
hearing?
out. Close it the
Oh, we're done?
Close it the public hearing.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, I thought we were going to go home. Okay.
Well, that's up to you. You're the chief tonight.
Okay,
All right.
okay, thank
Good
you.
night.
All right.
Well, it kind of
we will
explains.
now
like,
close
when
the
I
public
hear- When I
hearing.
hear the cars turning around
Do I have
1
to
in the
read
morning, I'm
something
like,
again?
that's where it's
I
coming
do
from.
not have my pages with me at all. I'm so mixed up here now.
Which I don't understand. It's like
I just closed the hearing, right?
whole counties. there's no-
Okay,
Yeah, but there's
close the hearing.
2 points
There's
of
no
entry.
discussion.
I mean, they can't get away.
Okay, it's closed at 20 of 8. Okay, so now what we do.
The next item on the agenda was the HOP engagement session discussion. I would also like to go home. So I just wanted to double check that everyone got my email that I had to change the date
To 27th.
for the open house.
Oh,
It's November 1st now.
November 1st. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, forgot of that one.
Yeah, the first 3 dates that we had were not available at the library, so I just pushed it back.
It's busy over there.
Yeah.
It always is this time of year, too.
Yeah, so that'll be in lieu of our regular working session. So we will have October's working session.
That will be a regular working session.
That'll be a
now,
regular
October
working
4th.
session. Yep.
We'll be working on amendments, maybe, too,
Yeah.
zoning.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also mentioned in my email that I was going to do some research on district definitions. I know that you guys wanted to discuss commercial. If there was anything else you wanted to talk about, I would be happy to do the research for zoning amendments.
Yeah, there
But
were some
other than that-
definitions I think we wanted on, under certain districts like C1 and C2, C3. To bring up some
Yeah.
of those.
And if anyone thinks of anything, you can always reach out to me.
Okay,
Tim, just a question. Since conservation is in your wheelhouse. Is there anything else that maybe other municipalities do, like in aquifer districts, other than just saying, limited use of salt and things like that? I mean, are there any?
It varies all over the place depending on the quality of the aquifer. Unfortunately, we have a very large, but it's,
Yeah, you got the Little River, and then what's the something brook? Kelly Brook.
something over
Kelly
Fish and
Brook?
Game.
Kelly Brook.
What's that one? Yeah,
That's just a man-made pond, as far as I know.
okay. All right, but I mean, I didn't know if there was a river that ran by there too, under the road there.
Isn't it Seaver Brook?
Yes, I think that's the one.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of, well, Seaver Brook crosses Pollard Road,
Right.
just above Congressional, and then it crosses Main Street at the Historical Society.
Right, okay.
And there is a pond back there.
But I'm thinking more in terms of the fact that, people pulling water out of the ground in those areas, like Little River Aquifer, Kelly Brook. I mean, that's probably, just, that's probably around 100 houses, I would think, roughly, right? You got Tewksbury, you have Village Way, you have Stonebridge, and then you might have some individual like condominiums that have their own private wells there.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't any, when you dig a well on any particular property, you don't know where you're going to find water. So, I mean, the aquifer is the water depth varies, and it's not, for example, the houses in my neighborhood, all wells were all dug by McKinney, I believe. They averaged 100 to 150 feet. I had to go down 325 feet. So, we're about 2 feet away from starting over. So you don't know where the water is flowing underground, or what you're going to run into. So it's hard to regulate.
I have the ordinance up too. I can read exactly what dictates the location of the aquifer district, protection district, if you want.
Please.
Yeah. The Aquifer Protection District is defined as the areas shown on the map titled Saturated Thickness and Transmissivity of Stratified Drift in the Lower Merrimack and Coastal River Basins, southeastern New Hampshire. And that was produced by the United States Geological Survey and is included in the report Geohydrology and Water Quality of Stratified Aquifers in the Lower Merrimack and Coastal River Basins, southeastern New Hampshire, 1990. Said map is hereby adopted as part of the official zoning map of the town of Plastow. That's the first one. The second one says the Aquifer Protection District is shown on the town of Plastow's map, and that was put in 2005. And then it also includes the wellhead protection area for active community water systems delineated and maintained by NHDES and shown on the town map as well. That was updated 2015. And the last one, the Aquifer Protection District is a zoning overlay district that imposes additional requirements and restrictions to those of the underlying base district. In all cases, the more restrictive requirements shall apply. Was that helpful?
A little bit.
That was a lot of words.
Yeah.
So basically, if you want to do anything in that area, we have a minimum lot size requirement, and you have to have a hydrogeologic study, and certain septic design installation requirements, and then there's a bunch of prohibited uses. And that's pretty much, that sums it up.
What is it? What do we have for prohibitive uses in that area?
Prohibited uses.
Well, it's probably car washes.
There
I
are
would think.
23.
I can't imagine why you'd say that.
Can't imagine that at all.
There are 23. Disposal of solid waste, storage and disposal of hazardous waste, disposal of liquid or leachable wastes that are from one or two family residential subsurface disposal systems, subsurface storage of petroleum, industrial uses which discharge contact type processed waters on site, outdoor storage of road salt or other de-icing chemicals, siting or operation of a snow dump, commercial animal feedlots, dry cleaning establishments, storage, discharge, or disposal of water from automobile service and repair shops and junk and salvage yards. So that's what you're talking about. Laundry and car wash establishments, unless they're on municipal sewer. On-site handling, disposal, storage, processing, or recycling of hazardous or toxic materials. Siting or operation of hazardous waste disposal facility. Siting or operation of a wastewater or septic lagoon. I've never heard that. Storage of liquid petroleum products, except for a bunch of stuff. Sludge, monofills, animal manure, lots of hazardous waste, non-sanitary treatment works, which discharge to the ground. Storage of regulated substances unless in a freestanding container within a building or above ground with secondary containment adequate to contain 110% of the container's total storage capacity. Commercial fertilizers, composting, sand and gravel excavation, and other mining within 8 vertical feet of the seasonal high water table. Yeah, that's it.
Scintillating.
Help you?
No, just-
And Concom is going to be doing prime wetlands, right?
Yes.
When is that? Is that soon, or you're going to have your hearing?
The November 9th is the public hearing date.
And then is that an amendment that we have to add
Add to it.
to zoning? Or is that something that Concom does on their own? How does that work?
I think, I think I think you have a choice. You could either, ask the planning board to do it or the selectmen. So I think last year, I mean, ultimately, we didn't have time to get all the stuff together, so we withdrew it, but I think we had the selectmen put it on their group of.
Okay.
All you gotta do is let me know, we'll get it on there.
Any more old business, new business?
Did anyone want to look at the zoning amendment discussion? Was that in your packets?
Yeah, I figured that's going to be now October 4th.
Yeah, I didn't know if you just want to take looks, because, just so everyone's aware of it, right?
Right.
And so we can look at it, and these were left over from last year. Do we want to put them back on this year, or do we have other ones we want to do? Because obviously, we don't want,
I think it depends on,
what else we have.
What else
yeah,
we've got
because
to
it
do
seems like we already have some
Sure.
that we're definitely going to do, so.
I don't think all of those are going to be able to do that, or we're going to be right back where we were last year.
Right, and I don't know what the magic number is, what we want to get to. There really is no magic number, obviously.
We just don't want the last year's number.
Yeah, that was the big one last year.
Or maybe if there's like an important one there that maybe.
Right.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. It might be a good idea. Let's all take a look at it.
Right.
So refresh ourselves.
Yeah,
And then I
depending
noticed there
on,
was a list at the back
Yeah, way at
as
the
well, new for
bottom.
2023.
Yeah.
So those might be some we want to think about. Then obviously we prioritize.
Now, I have the 22, and then I have the 23.
because I
so
think
can see
Energy
what-
has a couple that they're doing,
both ways.
I think they will be.
right? Doesn't Energy have a couple?
Solar. Oh, it's going to add up pretty quick. I don't think everybody can do.
Then we have
all
stormwater.
6
Well,
layers.
yeah, I guess, yeah, you want to consider the solar system ordinance. We looked at that quickly a couple
Yep.
weeks ago. The other one we looked at, which isn't here, is stormwater management.
Right, I wanted to know about that one too, stormwater, how much are we going to, can we put stuff together a little more, or we're not going to have a choice, are we?
Put stuff together.
No,
Oh,
stormwater, some of the amendments you maybe could put two together, and like, even in some of those ones that you've got on that list,
Mhm.
she said, no, we can't put them together.
Mhm.
So,
I mean, if they're related.
right, you should be able to, correct?
Yeah, well, I mean, you can do anything you want. I mean, we could make one amendment right, with all of them.
There'd be
Nothing.
a lot of pages.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
we'd all be
Still
ripping
gotta
our
sit there
hair
and read
out.
it.
One vote, zoning, yes or no?
Well, a lot of the stormwater management stuff is deletion. So,
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
but it's,
Right, right.
it still has to,
As someone who counts the ballots, I do like the idea of just one.
well, right, and you don't want to just say you deleted it. You want to explain that they're moving to subdivision, site plan
Yeah.
subdivision.
Yeah.
So the regulation isn't going away, just
No,
how we implement it.
make it easy to read and not.
Do we know when we want to start working on the amendments and things and like that, just so we can kind of get it done?
Probably
I
our
don't-
next meeting.
Next
right?
meeting.
I think
All
the
right,
next
good.
meeting we
I just want to
definitely-
make sure that we do a couple at a time.
Yep.
I don't want to have it all of a sudden, we come in one night and we're looking at 25 and it's like,
Yep.
all right, this is too many, now you got to pare it down. I want to do it and do it right.
I think if each of us has a list and just take 1, 2, from everybody, just to see where we're going. If we might even be similar, might even have similar ones.
Yeah, I like that.
Start with us.
Everyone pick their top two, and
Just open it up and see.
Yeah.
And then we're missing something. And it looks good.
Victoria, are you familiar with anything that maybe some other community does, like with agro-tourism or anything like that? I mean,
I haven't done any research on that particular subject. Are you expecting agro-tourism in Plaistow?
maybe,
Yeah.
but just
There's a pretty good agritourism RSA, but the town has to adopt it.
Yeah.
So it's out there for towns to adopt if they want to.
That might be something to check
Yeah.
into.
Something to check, right.
I can prepare a presentation on that for the next meeting with the commercial
That'd be
districts.
great.
Also, the survey will be done by then. Do you want a full presentation on the survey results, or do you want me to just type up a report that you can all read at your leisure?
Well, maybe if we read it ahead of time, then we'd be able to discussion
Yeah.
instead of trying to do both at the same time. I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, let's just make sure we read it ahead of time so we can
Oh,
cruise instead
no,
of
so
seeing
we
it the
know
first time.
what we're, we all going to have different opinions. So I was just trying to get it all into,
Do we know how many have participated?
Yeah, we got over 100 so far.
well, that's good.
Well, that's, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Not great,
did-
but okay.
shooting for 200, right?
You want to be nice. right?
200 would be good.
Yeah, that's what we were aiming for.
Yeah.
200, what do we have, 258?
And when are we
Do
closing that
something.
now? Another week?
So that's the 27th, so in a week. And then our meeting is the week after. So I will try my darndest to prioritize sending out that document so that you guys can read it ahead of time. But
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
Whatever you can do. Yeah.
want you to remember the
Yeah.
calendar.
I mean, I won't be here on the, what is it, 4th, October 4th? But
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
neither is, Tom isn't either
Yeah,
again.
no.
Right?
Well, maybe if he has a couple
Well-
of amendments, he could send them to Victoria.
well, what I was going to say, in
Should be,
prevent Victoria from going crazy,
right.
hold off on the housing summary until the following.
The actual summary
meeting.
is
We'll give
done.
you
Right.
a
That's
couple
true.
weeks at least to analyze that and focus on the zoning for the
Right.
4th.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big. I've been going through the comments
Good
already.
idea. Good idea.
And if you have time to do both, fine, but
Yeah.
focus on the zoning first and the housing second. That would be my suggestion.
And as of today, we have 111 participants.
Still
Yep.
not bad.
Yeah, it was just circulated again from D a couple days ago.
You don't know. Sometimes September, getting a little later now, everything's over, the rush, and still taking weekends. And now,
Yeah.
everybody's kind of fitting in now. So,
Well, we have kind of surveyed the citizens to death.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
really
there
We had
has been
the
quite a
economic
few.
development study.
I
I think the
was gonna bring that
energy
up.
committee
Yeah,
finished them
Main
off.
Street calming and energy, community power.
Yeah, we've just had it back to back and plus there's,
Crushed by the energy committee. It's like you're too far.
there's an energy, thing tomorrow night at the library, right?
Yeah, because we had Main Street, then we had the economic
And
development.
a Plastow nuclear reactor, I heard, is going to be on the warrant article.
Yeah, we approved that at our last meeting.
Yeah.
The nuclear reactor coming in.
So that's how to get people to town meeting.
Are you for nuclear power? Yes or no? Oh, wait, sorry. Since you're here.
well, we can always put it on.
Oh, and
Read it.
Tim, I printed out some paper surveys. You said that you would pass them along to your next meeting. Was it the community power one
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow night?
That's tomorrow night.
Yeah. Will
Tomorrow
you
night at the
pass these
library.
out?
I'm sorry.
Will you pass out these paper surveys at the meeting tomorrow?
We have surveys for that too?
The housing.
No,
Put
housing.
the housing,
This is
No, there's
energy now.
another,
correct, but you can put the surveys on the table and people can pick them up
We're
and fill
trying
them
to
out.
riff off your energy.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is on
the
energy, not housing.
the
Right, but
consultant.
if while you're having active audience there, you can say, hey, could you fill this out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They live in Plastow, they care. Make them do the survey.
Yeah.
Don't let them leave, Tim, until they fill it out.
The consultant that we're using is kind of running the whole shebang, so we haven't,
There they are.
okay.
Yeah, maybe if you have paperwork that you're passing out for that, just put that on the table with
No,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's all you do, right? And
Right.
hopefully they'll pick it up.
Yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Plus, I think the library has some
I
too.
misheard what you were.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So yes, I will definitely bring those to the public hearing.
Okay.
So we're in agreement. Next meeting, I'm
Zoning.
going to look up. We're gonna start the commercial districts definitions conversation, and I'll do a little something on agritourism.
Yep.
And then everyone comes with their top two. Fair? And then we can agree what our next steps are after everyone. Yeah.
Okay, so say you're taking a district, like say I'm taking C3, and there's probably 3 things that I would want to change, but they're all under one title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that
I
considered?
count just one. Well, I mean, because they're related. I mean, you don't want to have this warrant that says, I want to change use number 1 to X, and another warrant that says you want to change, use 2 to.
Right, okay, I
Why?
see what you're saying. Okay. I guess they're similar. All right, yep,
I mean, you can
Okay.
decide what you want.
right,
Once,
That-
once you have discussion,
I
you
could
might
do it in
decide
one.
to
right.
do it separately, but.
No, okay, no, I get it. All set. All right. So, are we done tonight?
You tell me.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're done. I think we did very well. Okay.
Indicate when you
So
close.
we will close the meeting at 3 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Excellent.
8:03.
Yay.